Oh, this is what happens when we record on Mondays, boys. It's Tuesdays.
Yep.
My week's thrown off because I had yesterday off.
Welcome to the new episode of You Hate to See It, everyone.
Alright, the hell of an intro.
Thanks. I try.
How is it at all times you chose now to eat popcorn?
Oh, man.
I've been with you for a good couple hours this afternoon, and at no point you decided to eat popcorn until the second we start the episode.
My mom wanted popcorn, and there was some left, so I wanted the popcorn.
I'm Adam.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Nick.
And this week, I am drinking Busch. That's right, folks. I'm drinking beer. Crazy.
It's the only thing in your house, isn't it?
No, I have a lot of hard liquor. I just have nothing to put the hard liquor in.
Wow.
This week, I'm also drinking Busch. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Want to know who else is drinking Busch?
And this really bad.
Andy's drinking Busch
that's true.
today.
Andy is.
And want to know who else is drinking Busch? Not Jeff.
We got the trifecta, boys. We have ourselves a trifecta of Busch Diesels.
I was just telling the audience, Nick, while you weren't here, that
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
Yeah, that Andy from the brew party is also drinking Busch Diesel tonight, and someone else who's also drinking Busch is not Jeff.
Yep.
For those who don't know, we might get into it at some point, but we have a new friend named Not Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
They have a new friend named Not Jeff.
Jeff is not friends with Not Jeff.
I've never talked to Not Jeff because I'm not a part of the group chat because I fucked up my phone number by one digit, and now they have a new best friend.
Yeah. It looks like the picture he sent looks like
it looks very nice. Yeah.
Well, it looks like he's living in a college apartment. Honestly.
I was thinking he lived like on a ranch or something. It looked nice.
He's
like the outside did.
He's from Iowa. I don't know. So yeah, this week, the first thing I wanted to talk about. Did anyone watch the video from Steve from Blue's Clues? And did it also make you really, really sad?
Yeah, I talked about that for a week.
It didn't make me cry, but it was nice.
It was really wholesome. Yeah.
Nick messaged me. I would message Nick the next morning after it came out because I was asleep when like everyone was talking about it. I messaged Nick. I was like, "Do you see this Steve from Blue's Clues video?" He's like, "Yeah, Shannon told me about it, and I started watching it, and all of a sudden it started raining in my house. It was really fucking odd." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, apparently it's really sad."
Yeah.
No, it was very heartfelt. I liked it. It's so random. It was so random, and I loved it.
Do we want to watch it together and react to this video?
Yeah, it'll be really wild when my house fucking starts raining again.
Yeah, let's bring down the vibes we barely have. Let's go. Hit me with it. I've always wanted to be vibe checked.
Hi. You got a second? Okay. You remember how when we were younger, we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and talk to Mr. Salt and freak out about the mail and do all the fun stuff. And then one day I was like, oh, hey, guess what? Big news. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new best friend. And then I got on a bus and I left. And we didn't see each other for like a really long time.
Yeah, I remember that, Steve. Thanks for making bringing up a traumatic part of my fucking childhood.
I'm proud of Steve not being a meth head like I thought he was.
Didn't someone go to jail? Didn't someone of the Blue's Clues people go to jail?
No.
No. I think there was rumors of the second guy.
That
like
Joe.
Did. Yeah.
I know the reason. Part of the reason why Steve left was because he was starting to go bald, and he didn't want to go bald on children's television.
I thought he was going to college. Yeah,
he was out of college by the time he got the job.
Can we just talk about that?
Yeah, let's do that, Steve.
Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt.
Yeah, it was.
I just kind of got up and went to college.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really challenging, by the way, but great because I got to use my mind and take a step at a time, and now I literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do. And then look at you, and look at all you have done, and all
Look at us.
I've
Look
gained
at
a
all
lot of
we've
weight.
done.
Yeah, eating
Gained a lot of
popcorn on a
weight.
podcast.
We became alcoholics, and yeah, we do this now.
Eating popcorn on a podcast, also going bald.
The more I talk, the more I realize how depressing I sound this episode. This is the Jeff Harsh vibes episode.
I would say that our alcoholism stems from Steve leaving us.
That's
Honestly-
what I saw about my dad.
Honestly, that's the first day I started drinking. It's wild. I never put that together.
You have accomplished in all that time. And it's just so amazing, right? I mean, we started out with clues, and now it's what? Student loans and
Oh God.
jobs and families, and some of it has been kind of hard,
Yeah.
you know?
Most
Yeah,
of
I
it.
do
I
know.
know you know. And I wanted
All of that actually has been hard. All the things you just listed.
to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help.
Thanks, man.
And in fact,
Well, I
all
could
the
have
help
used your
that you helped
fucking
me
help,
with when we were
Steve.
younger is
You left
still
us with
helping
Joe,
me,
which is by
today.
far the worst
Right now.
Blues Clues
and that's
host.
super cool. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you,
Now I'm crying.
ever.
Yeah.
And now I'm sad
And
again.
I'm super glad we're still friends. Thanks for listening.
I can't be mad at him.
You look
Yeah.
great, by the way.
Oh hell yeah!
Thanks, man.
It's the
Let me just
Thanks.
Furta to Steve.
Further to Steve. You know what's funny?
Furta.
What's wild? Steve and my dad have one thing in common.
both
They
left.
abandoned us.
No,
at a
they-
really
they-
prime time of our lives.
They both came back 10 years later and will never show their faces ever again.
Hold on.
All
My
right.
next question is a Nick. You were still watching Blues Clues 10 years ago?
Maybe.
Yep.
Buddy, you were 14.
And you know what? High
And he
school
was-
was hard.
And you were still on the Steve era.
And you know what? Freshman year high
He
school was
watches
hard.
one episode every year.
Yeah.
Like Helsing abridged.
Oh God. Yeah, no, that's it was
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah,
He dropped that at the right time.
there was I saw something on Twitter that was like Steve saw what we all went through over the past year and was like, I need to adjust the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the people who are probably suffering the worst are the kids he abandoned. So,
We love you, Steve, but God damn it, that's almost unforgivable.
I watched the first episode, or not the first, the reboot. I watched an episode of the reboot, and it was
Where they have like the email and shit instead of mail time.
yeah, it's wild. And the Notebook is an iPhone with the
Mm.
Notebook rings through it. I don't
like that.
understand it. I don't either.
You guys remember Zaboomafoo?
I
I
do.
do.
Zaboomafoo was good. That was also a
The
really good one.
Boomafoo's dead.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Um,
Apparently the new Zaboomafoo is that Zaboomafoo's kid.
Yeah.
but anyway,
The
so
lineage is a Boomafoo.
Steve,
The saga runs on.
both Steve and Joe guested on an episode of the new Blues Clues show.
I saw the musical number.
We should try to get Steve on our podcast.
I'll work on it.
All right, you put it in that like
I'm working on a couple people right now.
Perfect,
I'll
perfect.
add Steve to my list.
Maybe he can guest host in my absence.
The worst thing he can say is no, or he addresses the entire nation again.
And on
causes-
our podcast.
Yeah, he addresses the nation, and just blasts our podcast, the entire nation about how we're garbage. But
Hey, you want to hear about a really shitty podcast? Great.
Didn't like how you did that in the perfect timing.
Steve,
of
this is
Blue's
a
Clues.
Steve, this is a shout out to you. Get the fuck on here. We have questions that need
Yeah.
answered. You addressed us. We know you're out there. We have questions that need answered. Like, how the fuck do I do my taxes, Steve?
Yeah. Why did you have that on Blues Clues? Why didn't Blue ever need help on her taxes? Where
Why
do
did
I
I-
sign?
Why
Well,
did I
probably
have to-
'cause- honestly, it's probably because Blue is smart and commits tax evasion. Like everyone
probably,
should.
yeah. He's actually registered as a legal resident of the Cayman Islands.
He lives in a cartoon world. They don't have taxes there.
You don't fucking know that. Salt and
There
Pepper
are
had a
lit-
child. There's probably taxes.
There are
Child?
literally three
was the
human
child?
beings in that entire
What was the
universe.
Paprika, right? Paprika
Yeah.
was the
Paprika,
child.
and then they had Cinnamon when Joe is around.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that was a thing.
I think they
Why
have
do I
another kid
remember
now.
that?
Yeah,
I
don't.
think
I
they
don't
have
remember
another
that.
kid now in the new version. I think I read that.
What was another fucking wild kid show? Fucking Bob the Builder. Remember that?
That show's creepy.
Yeah,
I
that
really
show
liked
was
Bob the
something.
Builder as growing
That
up.
animation is honestly the new
There's
Bob the
Caillou.
Builder is the creepiest of the
Yes,
Bob the Builders.
yeah,
The new
I've
one's
seen that.
terrifying. And also, I would beat the shit out of Caillou. I would drop kick a motherfucking child with cancer as long as his name's Caillou. That bald head.
Wasn't that Caillou? Didn't he have kids?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just remember him being bald as fuck.
What was
I'm pretty
the
sure
the
that
most
was, like,
annoying
the thing.
twerps ever.
Arthur?
Mm.
Arthur's great.
Arthur was good.
Hey Arnold.
I wasn't a big fan of Hey Arnold.
I wasn't either, but I remember
Mm.
that.
I got in trouble because of Hey Arnold. I got suspended from school because
I'm gonna need an
of Hey
elaboration on
Arnold.
that.
They had an episode. There was a crazy old man that they called Four Eyes, and they explained that they called him Four Eyes because he wore glasses. And then they didn't explain that calling people Four Eyes wasn't okay. And I had one girl in my class who wore glasses, and I called her Four Eyes for an entire day. And unbeknownst to me, I made her cry, and she told.
I want
the
you to know
teacher,
this
and-
is his junior year of high school, by the way.
No, I was in second grade, but I made her cry, and I got suspended. And then I got turned around and bullied on because I like to make fun of people and call them Four Eyes for something that they can't.
Honestly,
control.
that is the correct response by
Yep.
the class.
Yes. Yes.
But also, I didn't know that this wasn't okay because honestly,
I got taken out of a school play when I was in fourth grade because I farted next to a girl and said I passed gas. And I got that from SpongeBob.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
I never SpongeBob, the original SpongeBob.
Cat Dog was
Cat
wild.
Dog was
That was
insane.
a wild show.
remember Fairly Odd Parents?
Fairly Odd Parents is still great.
That show slaps. And Danny
Is
Phantom.
it still
Danny Phantom's
Danny
so
Phantom was
good.
really
Danny-
good.
I downloaded all of Danny Phantom. Who should?
It-
Oh, who?
I think
remembers-
it's on HBO Max, isn't it?
I have no idea, but who remembers Chalk Zone?
Chalk Zone was the shit.
Chalk Zone slap.
What was the
Codename
know.
Kid Next Door.
no? What was the
no.
Cyber Zone? Cyber.
Oh, I know what you're thinking of. I can't think of the name.
Um,
It's something like that, though. Yeah,
Cyber Kid. It was like a PBS show.
yeah. I remember. I know what you're talking about. Dragon Tales.
I was just
watched
about to
that.
say
Dragon
Dragon Tales
Tales.
was so good.
Dragon Tales.
Oh,
I remember spending my Saturday mornings. I would watch Dragon Tales, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and the Banana Splits show.
I would
I
watch
don't know that
like,
one.
Banana
Power,
Split show.
I would watch like Power Rangers, like the old 1990s
Yeah,
ones,
those
the
were
good
good.
ones. Guys, we're just doing the nostalgia episode. Let's
Yep,
go.
that's essentially it.
Remember Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah,
Powerpuff Girls was always good.
They just rebooted it. And also they're
Right.
making a live
Sure,
action
that's all.
show.
The live action looks so bad.
Well, it had Chloe,
The girl from Agents of Shield.
Yeah, I don't remember her last name, but and then she dropped out.
She did. I didn't know she did.
They filmed the entire pilot, and then she dropped out of the show.
Isn't she dating one of the fucking dumbasses?
She used to date Logan Paul.
That guy, yeah, that idiot.
Logan Paul's actually gotten better. He's
Yeah,
like
has he?
atoned
Yes.
for what he's done and is trying to be a better person.
except for the fact that they're both super into boxing and just beating
Didn't
the shit out of
didn't
people.
he get caught rioting last year?
I don't know, but Jake
Probably.
is the asshole. Jake.
They
is
don't
one
live
that
in the
no one
United
likes.
States anymore.
Definitely don't live in Japan.
No, they live in Puerto Rico. They live across the street from
That's
each other.
essentially that is the United States.
Yeah, but they don't live in the 50
Yeah.
states. They moved down to Puerto Rico because they don't have people rushing them all the time for shit.
Yeah, Jake is still an arrogant piece of asshole.
They look the exact
bullshit.
same to me. I couldn't tell
They-
them apart.
They don't look anything alike.
They
honestly.
don't, but like I don't see pictures of them when I hear about
Yeah.
them, so I never separate who's who. And they're always almost doing the same thing in some way, shape, or form.
What else?
I don't know, but Dragon Tales was lit. That was like
Dragon
my
Tales
go-to
is
as a
so
one of
kid.
my favorite shows. Who remembers
Um,
My Teenage
Jenny,
My
My
Robot
Teenage-
Teenager?
Yeah, I
whatever.
remember that.
Jenny and
yeah.
the Teenage Robot or something
Yeah,
like that.
whatever the fuck it was.
My Teenage Robot, I think, is what it was
Can
called.
we talk about how fucked up Courage the Cowardly Dog was?
That's
Show
such a
was
good show.
fucking- It is. Remember when we started watching it recently and then
Yeah.
like stopped because the show was
No.
fucking. I don't think you were there for that. Might have been me and Adam and there's someone else there, but I don't know if it was you.
I think it was Garrett.
Garrett, yeah, I think Garrett hadn't left yet.
That show was fucking
What a
terrifying.
good show.
Yeah, I don't know how that was marketed to kids, but I
I've
don't
been
know.
watching. I started watching Foster's Home for Imaginary.
I never
Friends.
got into that one.
It's
I
okay.
never
I
got
liked
into
it. Yeah.
It's okay. Upon
I s-
rewatch, it's not great, but
I started rewatching Ben 10.
I hate that show.
Oh, I love that
I never
show.
got into
Ben 10
either.
that Ben 10 was it's still so good.
Did
I
any
love
of you
it.
guys watch Johnny Bravo?
I did watch
Yeah.
not a lot. I don't think I was allowed
I
to.
didn't watch it a whole lot. But that was good. Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
I
fucking-
wasn't a big fan of that.
Love
I don't
Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
I think my mom thought it was too stupid.
It is pretty
very
fucking dumb.
stupid.
It was very
Um,
dumb.
I grew up mostly watching the shows with my dad on Boomerang. So like
Boomerang
Yogi-
was great. That's what
like-
me too. I watched
Yeah.
a lot of Boomerang.
Yogi
with my
Bear,
dad.
Pink
Yup.
Panther,
Tom
My
and
dad-
Jerry.
Pink
Tom
Panther
and
was like my
Jerry.
Pink Panther was my dad's like favorite as a kid.
That's where Banana Split show is on. Banana Splits was essentially a 30-minute like
Because Pink Panther was
massive
like back
puppets.
in like Pink Panther's old as shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean
it's like
the
60s or 70s or something like that.
it's earlier than that, I think, because
I was gonna say because my dad watched it growing
well,
up. and I
there's the
was-
Pink Panther TV show, which is actually a Pink Panther,
yeah,
and then
and
they
there's the
made the
movies.
movies about the diamonds in
yeah.
the like in
Yeah.
the 60s. There was the movie like 4 or 5 movies made, and then they rebooted it recently
I,
with Steve Martin. But
Watched a lot of Super Friends with my dad. That and
Spider-Man 90s
Spider. Oh, that was always so good.
90s Iron Man.
The Transformers cartoons were good.
This isn't
Yeah.
a Transformers cartoon. I can never remember the name of it.
Digimon.
No. It's like Transformers, but it's like some off-brand thing where the car like the people would stay sitting in the car, and then the whole giant robot would produce underneath the car, and the car would be the head with the person sitting in it, and they would like
no idea.
Power
what you're talking
Rangers?
about.
use the stick shift and stuff as like ways to control the robot.
Mm,
What else?
And I know it wasn't Transformers though, because Transformers doesn't have people in the robots.
Yeah.
But this was people controlling giant robots.
oh my god.
Are you
I'm
looking
looking
up
up-
the show that I just
I
said?
tried, but now it's showing me other TV shows from back then. I don't know. It's not showing me like pictures, which is annoying. Okay, so you had Transformers. Beast Hunters? No, that wasn't it. Transformers animated. Mobile Suit Gundam. Don't think that was it. I'm not seeing anything. Robotech? No. Voltron.
Megas XLR.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, no, that's nothing like anything I've ever heard.
Who remembers the Butt Ugly Martians?
That sounds familiar, but it's not.
Never heard of that. I liked this is more recent memory, but Johnny Test. I like Johnny Test.
I watched a lot of SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
Like
was
early
huge.
SpongeBob, like that wonderful period from like 1999 to like 2002.
Like from when it started to the first movie. Like that was prime SpongeBob.
what was the first movie? Just the SpongeBob movie?
David Hasselhoff in it.
Yeah, the David Hasselhoff.
When was that? I think that was like 2006, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was
I
way
was
back.
in elementary school still.
Okay, I don't want the new one. 2004. SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Yeah, that adds up. That seems about like the right time period. But yeah, that shit was good. Does anyone remember the episode where like Squidward like was super depressed and tried to kill himself?
That's like every episode.
Yeah, that's every episode. The episode with the dude with the spatula while they worked at night, That
Mm.
episode
That
terrified.
episode-
That
the,
episode was
great.
terrifying as a child.
And then they were like, "What's with the flashing lights?" And it's the old like movie Nosferatu. or whatever the fuck his
Yeah.
name is.
That was legitimately my
Nosferatu.
that-
Like that's like great adult humor in a kid's show.
So I remember
SpongeBob is super adult humor. Like it was made for
Yeah.
teenagers. Like if you go back and watch it now, you'll pick up, especially those really early episodes, you'll pick up on a bunch of shit.
Who remembers the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours?
Great fucking crossovers.
no idea
Great.
what that was.
Jimmy
Oh,
Neutron would cross over with
With
Timmy
Fairly
Turner.
Odd Parents.
I don't
Oh.
remember that.
Oh, there's
There's
like
three.
four of them.
There's
Yeah,
3 of them, I think. Yeah, great movies. Because
great.
it would be like they would use each other's animation styles throughout the movie. It was so good.
Yeah, so like Timmy would go over to Jimmy Neutron's
Neutron.
animation,
I think I've seen memes about that, but I don't remember.
and
it.
then Jimmy would come over the Fairly Odd Parents 2D,
Oh,
and then they would
I,
reference
for
about like,
some
"Oh,
reason-
I'm in 3D. Like, what is this?"
I for some reason really want to watch those now, but I also know I would like 10 minutes in, I'd be like, yeah, fuck this. Remember that really shitty live action Fairly Odd Parents they tried to make with Drake
Drake
Bell as
Bell?
Timmy?
They made
No.
multiple of those.
What
There's
the
like
fuck?
3 of them. There's at least 2 because I've watched. There's a Christmas one, and then there's like a summer one,
Yeah, the summer one I think was the first one
I don't
actually.
Yeah,
remember that
the-
at all.
and then they did like.
I think they're
they
slight.
might have-
I don't want to say newer, but I feel like I was probably in like
Yeah, they're-
junior high or
they
high
are
school when they came out.
Still, like they're new for us. Still, kind of. Though.
Like I probably shouldn't have been watching Fairly Odd Parents when it came out, but I was because nostalgia and we're depressed people. So
and it's Drake Bell, Drake and Josh. Great
Yeah.
show.
oh, that was God. I fucking love Drake. Yeah,
Nick,
such a good show.
Nick, do you remember the one time after a party?
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
We were all at my house and we were.
I do
drunk
remember
and
that.
We were.
Did you guys
so
watch
drunk
like the whole
watching-
first season or some shit?
Yeah.
I passed out. I was so
yeah,
drunk.
we all it, was like Justin, Molly, Nick, I and Mike were all, and I think a couple other people were all sitting on my couch watching Drake
On the
and
projector and
Josh.
shit?
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
projector.
And then I had to take Molly home and was gone for like 2 hours because she wouldn't fuck off.
She wanted that dick.
No, she was about to throw up because she was so drunk.
Nah.
It was a
Not
good
possible.
time.
Not possible. Yeah, no, she never got too drunk.
Oh,
never
what other
happened.
nostalgic thing? The Power Rangers movies. Those used to terrify me as a kid.
I've seen a couple episodes of Power Rangers, and I watched the new movie and thought that they were all awful.
Okay, but like what? I'm talking like the 1990s Power Rangers is what I watched.
Yeah.
Buddy, I have no idea. I remember.
Also,
one
I guarantee
scene-
you those do not hold up today. But goddamn, back then were they fucking dope?
I remember a scene of a guy doing a headstand, saying that was good for relaxation, and I think he was like the White Ranger or something. And I was like, "This is
One
dumb."
of the best memes is where it's all the Power Rangers going through, and it's like red power, blue power, yellow power. Then it just shows the white Power Ranger fighting an enemy, and he just goes, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like they
Oh.
should have. What they should have done is made a black person the White Ranger and a white person the Black Ranger.
We kind of went through and
think
watched
they
our
did
favorite
that.
favorite movies growing up, but I think we just kind of watched our favorite movies, not so much like because if we would have watched our favorite movies growing up, that Camelot movie I was talking about probably would have been on there. The Path to Camelot, that was probably
Yeah.
mine because you
Mhm.
chose Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. What was my movie? I can't even remember. Nick
It
chose a
was-
fucking western.
Yeah.
It was
Also, mine probably would have been like some fucking Steven Seagal film, and I
no,
I'm
it
trying to
was
remember.
what it
the
was.
camp counselor thing.
Oh, Ernest.
Ernest.
Oh, yeah, Ernest.
God, love Ernest. God, no, that's a good one.
I mean, it was that or Fox and the Hound. So
Who remembers Buzz Lightyear of Star Command?
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
That show
Was that-
is not
That was like Toy Story trying to do a show, right?
Yeah.
so Buzz Lightyear of Star, because the Buzz Lightyear is based off of in universe. He's based off of a Saturday morning cartoon show. So after Toy Story 2 came out, they made the Saturday morning cartoon show that Buzz Lightyear is based off of,
Okay,
and it's called Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
that
is-
sounds familiar.
It's literally never been released on hard media or anything, and
Really?
I found them all and downloaded the whole show, and it took me like a year to corral all of them. Who remembers the old Dr. Seuss
Zaboomafoo?
cartoons? I'm not- the
I
old
don't know the
Dr. Seuss-
cartoons. I remember like the movies.
like Dr. Seuss on the Loose, where it does like the Sneetches, I don't even
Oh.
remember
yeah.
No.
with the
I have a
with the
very
bellied
vague
star
memory
and
of
the
it.
no
Yeah.
bellies.
Oh, we need to watch the Lorax, like the original cartoon one.
I got
Oh,
it.
The
How
original
long is
Lorax
it?
one.
I have it.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't think it's
looking at
that
it right
long. It's
now.
like one of those 1990s cartoon films, so
Yeah,
probably
let
like an
me-
hour, 20 minutes max.
I
was in Horton Hears a Hugh. Horton Hears a Hugh.
You were in it or
Yeah,
into
in a play.
it?
I was in a
Oh.
play. I was in a play
Shut
that
the
was
fuck
Horton
up.
Hears
You
a
can't
Who.
just play that shit like you were in. Adam, cut out all this part and just make it that he was in it, and we'll just be like, oh my god, he was that one.
I was a child actor. Yeah. No, I was a theater kid.
The Lorax is 25 minutes long.
No.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at it. Horton hatches the egg is 9 minutes. I have the original Horton hatches the egg. The original one has a Nazi fish in it. It's like a Nazi depressed suicidal fish.
Was it not
Wild?
the Lorax?
And they have cut it out of every.
Was the original Lorax really? No, Dr. Seuss is. Was it really 25 fucking minutes?
I am literally looking at it. The file length is 25 minutes.
What the fuck? Am I thinking of a different one? There had to be a longer one.
Well,
other than the 2000.
There's the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the movie, but like
Oh.
the first movie.
Oh no, I'm talking about the 2D animation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. but
25 minutes.
What the fuck?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas is also 25 minutes, and The Cat in the Hat is also 25 minutes.
God, what the fuck? It doesn't add up to me.
The Grinch's The Cat in the Hat. What else do I
damn.
got?
What other TV show slapped?
Gilligan's Island. I watched that growing up.
My dad watched it, but I watched like a couple episodes of it. But I used to love what is it? Lucy or what are the
I
show?
Love Lucy.
I used to watch
I
it
watched
all
a
the time
lot
with
of
my
like
dad.
Munsters and Addams Family growing up, and
I watched a
Batman,
lot of
the original
Andy Griffith.
Batman with Adam West, Andy Griffith Show, Brady Bunch.
Andy Griffith Show was good.
Yeah.
What about
The Red Green Show was great also. I loved that. I went back and watched some of those episodes on YouTube. Does not hold up. Fucking great though.
what about House of Mouse?
I vaguely remember that.
Is that like Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse?
Well, Mickey Mouse owned a nightclub, and they would play like Saturday morning
Yeah.
cartoons at the nightclub, and then there was always like a story going on in the nightclub of something's happening in there, and it's great. It's such a good show.
Also, someone mentioned it earlier, but Tom and Jerry was absolutely amazing. as
Oh,
a
yeah.
kid.
it was great.
Perfect fucking show. And Scooby Doo, the original, like
Scooby-
not original,
And-
but
well,
well,
yeah,
actually, yeah,
What's
all
new?
of them.
All of them. What's new?
I
Scooby Doo is also
have-
amazing.
I have every episode and movie of Scooby Doo ever.
We should go through and just have a marathon of Scooby Doo.
I'd be down for that.
I
I
would
ha-
be too.
I literally
We watched one recently, together. It was the
We watched the
cat-
South
the-
one.
the
the
yeah
southern
the
one.
Bayou, like
Yeah.
in Louisiana. I can't remember what the fuck that's called.
Cyber Chase. Cyber Chase. That's the show that I was. That's it.
Yeah,
But no. The Cyber Scooby Doo was that one was
also
really good.
Really good. Yeah,
all right.
I had
so,
the board game of that.
Same. I think I still have it. So the original show was Scooby Doo, Where Are You? And then it went to the new Scooby Doo movies, which is the ones that had guest stars on all of them.
Okay,
And then the Scooby Doo show, I don't even remember what that is. And Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo.
fuck Scrap.
Yeah, Scrappy Doo was awful.
Do you guys know who Tim Curry is?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tim Curry was going to do a guest appearance or do a guest role on the Scooby Doo movie. And he loves Scooby Doo. They were finishing up the contract for it, and he pulled out because in the movie was going to be Scrappy Doo, and he fucking hates Scrappy Doo. So he backed out of the entire deal. He's like, I fucking hate Scrappy Doo.
The one of the guest appearances that always like resonates with me is the fucking Globetrotters one. That's the one I always remember.
The Batman ones were good. The Batman
Yeah.
guest appearances,
Yeah.
those were cool.
Who remembers a pup named Scooby Doo?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah,
So
I do.
I watch that all the time. That show was only on for like, it was 4 seasons, and it was in the 90s. Like, it was done before we were even born. And I remember watching it religiously.
God, I feel like this is a good episode, except it's not, because we're not going in depth on any of these.
Yeah.
We're just listing nostalgic things.
Let's look at some of these movies.
God, Scooby Doo fucking slaps
Oh,
to this
Boo
day, though.
Brothers, Scooby Doo, and meets the Boo Brothers.
The Three Stooges ones were good.
Oh, those ones were fucking.
Yeah, those were
great.
the
were
guest
always great,
appearances.
yeah. Oh, the
Who
guest
remembers-
appearances were always so
Who
good.
remembers Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School?
Yes.
That's such a
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah, that's the one where like
Um,
they're playing like volleyball and shit. And yes, I remember
against
that one.
like the prep school
Yeah.
douchebags. Yeah. The Reluctant Werewolf. It's the one where they're racing Dracula and Shaggy turns into a werewolf.
Yep.
Zombie Island's classic. We just watched at my apartment with Justin. We watched a sequel to that.
Hmm.
They made a sequel to Zombie Islands like last year or 2 years
Oh.
ago. Alien Invaders,
Yep. I remember that
Cyber
one.
Chase,
Cyber Chase.
Loch Ness Monster,
That was good.
Where's My Mummy,
Oh, I remember that one.
Pirates Ahoy. I'm not listing all of them, just some highlights. Goblin King, Abracadabra Do.
Goblin King with the Goblin Slayer guest appearance. Oh, imagine how great that episode would be.
That wouldn't be on Cartoon Network though.
There is one that has John Cena in it.
I don't want to see
I've
it.
seen that.
It's
I saw
newer.
the
It's
meme
one of the
for it,
newer
yeah.
I'm good. Thanks,
ones.
though.
Yeah, thanks, dog.
So there's some specials called Those Meddling Kids, which is they came out right after Blair Witch Project came out. So they redid Blair Witch Project as Scooby-Doo characters, literally by Cartoon Network.
Did you guys like the first Blair Witch?
No, I don't like any of those.
I've never seen Blair Witch.
The
I don't
first
like
Blair Witch
Shaky
I
Cam.
watched when it came out, and it was all right. But
Shaky
now,
Cam makes me want to throw up.
yeah, no, I don't like found footage films very much. Except
Yeah.
I don't know, what was that one, like Alchemy or whatever, or
Project
no, As Above.
X.
What was that?
Project
Like
X
As
is
Above,
good.
As Below, or that movie about alchemy?
Oh, As Above, So Below. I love that
Yeah.
movie. It's like the
It's good.
only like it's not even a horror movie, but it's like scary enough.
I think it's pretty.
What do you classify it as the horror movie?
I don't know. I think it kind of gets itself in there.
It's the only found footage film like I like. I
Yeah,
hate
that's what
found
I'm
footage.
saying. Like
It's
I-
just I love that movie. Fucking terrifying.
it's fucked up. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
What else fucking terrifies me?
Because that's
Still
all
Descent.
it's about. Like it all starts in like the French catacombs,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, dude, French catacombs. Those things are fucking
We
terrifying.
should do a pod being Patreon episode on the
You-
catacombs.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough to go there.
No, fuck no. Think I want to go down there?
It's
Hold
crazy.
on.
Be-
If we could raise like get our Podbean up to like $1,000 a month, fuck it, we're gonna go record an episode in the catacombs.
We
No.
will. We will
No.
all be dead afterwards. But
I'm not doing that.
We'll have
he
Dan
said
on.
in the catacombs, Nick. Doesn't mean we have to leave the ladder leading down.
Oh, fine, maybe. Oh, it's always terrifying because like every time you hear a story about a body being found, it's always like 15 feet from the nearest exit.
Yeah.
Every time. It's just and there's always like trails going, like they clearly walked past it like 8 times.
Yeah.
Fucking awful. I hate the catacombs. That's like one of the scariest places.
What movies growing up or like shows like scared you?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Well, besides
Oh.
that one, obviously, that freaked everyone out.
Let me.
But you
look it
could
up.
not watch it though, right? Like that's how I was, like, because it was
Wasn't
like
allowed
those.
to.
It was like those episodes of like there were 2 episodes in each episode type of a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's always like you watch the first one, that's fucking terrifying. And the next one starts, you're like, well, I mean, I might as well just, keep going here. Like,
Nah, I would go to my grandparents after school and shit, and my grandmother wouldn't allow it. To put it in the context, my grandmother once told me to turn off Linkin Park because that's not real music.
A movie that terrified the shit out of me when I was a little kid, The Scream Team.
I just didn't watch scary movies.
It's a 2002 Disney film. It was a Disney film made for teenagers, but because it was a Disney Channel original movie, I watched it as a little kid, and there is a scene. The villain of the show is a ghost, and the ghost floats around as like orbs, and this ghost set fire to his house, killing his wife and child in the house, and his orb was a ball of fire, and he would go around to other ghosts and crush their orbs and like eliminate, I don't know, kill the ghost. I don't know what that fucking means, but yeah. And like these kids, their grandpa died and he crushed their grandpa's orb in front of them. And
Monster House got me quite a bit.
Monster House was pretty terrifying. That was like a good scary movie though.
Yeah,
that's a good intro scary movie for kids.
To put it into context, I am such a big pussy that I was terrified to take a shower after reading the synopsis to Psycho.
Just, you mean like the actual horror movie?
Yeah,
Psycho.
I read the synopsis and I was terrified.
Wait, it's not a fucking kids movie, Nick. That's supposed to be.
Yeah, we're talking.
Yeah,
about
but I was like 14.
13 Ghosts gets me every time. Freaks me out. That was the first ever scary movie I watched because I don't know how old I was, but I went to watch a movie and my sister left it in the DVD player. She had rented it or something. And she left it in the DVD player. And I started it up and was like, yeah, what is it? And for some reason, I was home, like not alone. I was home, but like I was just in like my, like in our little like family room. I was just watching. I watched the whole thing, scared out of my fucking mind. But like no one ever turned it off. Like other people walked through the room. Like no one ever fucking stopped.
I don't
watching it.
know what the movie is, but I was in Pennsylvania for my uncle's wedding, and my parents went out for the night, and my uncle watched me, and he was watching some movie. I couldn't even. It would like some state trooper got like shot in the face or something, and like it was so graphic, and I was like 7, and it that fucked me up for like days. It was terrifying.
I remember I was staying with my grandparents. This is when they were alive, and
I wish I had that sometime in my life.
I was like spending the night there, and they rented a couple movies, and they rented Semi-Pro, and this is like right after it went out on Redbox. So they rented Semi-Pro, and I was at my grandparents' house, and they popped it in, and the Redbox only had the unrated version, and we started watching it, and I think we got to Jive Turkey, and my grandparents were like, that's enough, and turned it off. And then I told my mom about it, and my mom was like, what? And like we'd never seen it in theaters or anything, but my mom likes Will Ferrell, so she was like, and so we rented it and we watched it, and we watched the whole thing, and my mom was like, yeah, your grandparents are just pussies. This movie's fine.
My dad and I picked up, because I remember seeing commercials for it, like advertisements for it, the Comebacks. You ever seen that?
Was that the Kim Kardashian movie? She had cum in her back.
Oh, I get it. Oh.
I'm stealing Parks and Rec blooper jokes.
All right, you go fuck yourself. But no, does anyone actually know?
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
It's some like parody, like, so it's one of those like parody films. You know how like horror, like people do like the scary movies are parodies of like horror films.
Yeah.
So it's like that, but for sports movies. And it's just like this team of, there's some college team that's absolutely fucking garbage. This coach who's never won games gets like gets the head coaching job, and he goes in. And it's just their running back's name is Achille Terry, but it's ACL tear is what the coach calls him, and he jinxes him, and it's just a stupidly wild, like super raunchy fucking mid 2000s movie. And my dad and I picked it up because I thought it was just like, another football movie like Gridiron Gang or something cool. And my dad got like 20 minutes in, and he was like, yeah, no.
Yo, who remembers when DVDs were invented?
That was
when we did that, we went
just after
up,
my time, Adam.
we went up to like we rented the movie. We went up and like rented it at like a movie rental place.
At Blockbuster.
No,
We
it
had
was like
Family Video.
it was like a local one.
Yeah,
us.
I remember
We had
those
Family
local.
Video.
Yeah, I've been to Blockbuster Family.
It was a little
Video,
family-owned local
shit.
one where it was like, hey, it's like $1 to rent this for a night, and there's a late fee, but if we know you well enough, that late fee just gets waived if you keep it for the rest of your life.
We still have tons of VHS.
Oh, my dad has all
I
of
have a
his
few.
John Wayne ones.
Did you know VHSs actually have like an expiration date?
yeah, the
where the
tape.
The
Yeah,
film
the tape
will go
goes.
bad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
They have to be stored like in a special way if you want to preserve it.
by the way, that's not the way BBC used to store their shit.
And
For
Well,
anyone who doesn't know,
I don't know where you're going
all
with
of
this.
the
This means nothing to me.
all of the archives from BBC in black and white day burst into flame, like spontaneous flame at one point, and that's why like a bunch of old Doctor Who episodes and shit are just gone, is because they were melted.
it's like everyone talking about how Yale's library will kill you if there's a fire because it will automatically go
Yeah,
into that mode.
Vatican archives are the same way.
Yeah, it'll just suck all the air out of the room so the fire stops. It takes out all oxygen. But
Mhm.
you also like apparently signed like a contract or a waiver or some shit that if that shit were to happen, you don't fucking.
Your family can't
Yeah,
sue them.
Yeah.
your dead corpse can't sue them.
So talking about movies and all that stuff, Disney Plus is a place you can watch movies.
That is a place you can watch movies. Thanks, Jeff, for the beautiful transition. So this is a while ago. Honestly, this is such a long time ago. I'm
It's fine. We
surprised I
told a
remember
story
this
last
story.
episode, like from fucking
We just
4 months ago.
It literally has been in here, and we just never got around to it. But so, did any of you notice that Disney Plus changed?
No, because I barely.
Are you
use
talking
it.
about how like now the new releases don't get added till later or some shit?
No.
No,
So-
not a clue.
So
No, I don't. I
I-
literally don't go on it except for when I watch the Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't think I've been on it since then. That was months ago.
Last time I used it was to watch Rebels, like a month ago.
So I had the year subscription to Disney Plus, and then as a friend group, we started sharing our streaming services, and so I got the bundle between Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, and part of that was because I wanted ESPN Plus to start watching hockey this upcoming season because
Where I'm
ESPN
watching all
bought
my
the
foosball.
ESPN bought the rights to NHL because it used to be with NBC Sports. So I was like, cool. So I got the bundle in January. I have been watching Hulu and Disney Plus, and everything was good. I hadn't had a reason to go on ESPN Plus. The NHL draft happened, and I went to go on ESPN Plus, and I couldn't watch it because I didn't have ESPN Plus. And I was like, what the actual fuck is going on here? And I spent 4 hours on the phone with people. So apparently, I had the year-long subscription to Disney Plus. I then changed it to be a Hulu changed it to add Hulu and ESPN Plus to it. And in their system, because I already had the year-long subscription, it glitched out and was giving me only Hulu and Disney Plus. And like in there, like it was saying that I had the full bundle and was paying the bundle cheap price for all of the Hulu shit. But then I was still getting my Disney Plus for my year-long subscription. And because I wasn't paying for ESPN Plus, it glitched out and just stopped giving me ESPN Plus. I spent 4 hours trying to figure this out, and the outcome, I had to cancel and delete all of my accounts and make new ones. So in one night,
Yeah, it's up.
in one night, I literally deleted all 3 accounts of mine and redid them all. And I was able to keep the same emails and passwords. So I didn't have to change anything in our docs or anything, but it signed everyone out of everything. And I was waiting for people to question why they were signed out
Know
of
what?
everything.
Now that I think about it, when did this happen?
Like January. No, never mind. No, I changed in January. The draft and the NHL entry draft for the new hockey team. So a
That
couple months ago.
actually explains why when I went back and watched some episodes of Clone Wars, I couldn't find where I left off. Or when I tried to find where I left off in Rebels, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, so that's because it's a different account.
That actually might explain a lot because I couldn't remember. Like I was looking for Rebels.
I purposely haven't told you guys about this because I wanted to talk about it on the podcast.
No, I did. Now that you've mentioned it, I did notice it because I left off somewhere like halfway through Rebels, and I couldn't find where I left off.
I use Kristen, so until her subscription, like at her year ends, then we'll switch to Adam since Adam pays for it and I pay for HBO Max
I
anyways.
really wish
then
Netflix did a year bundle or a year deal.
Do you guys use my Hulu?
I do on my phone. My phone
Yeah.
is your Hulu.
I was like, every once
really
in a while.
No,
don't
you
use
actually
Hulu.
can't. We found out this weekend you can't sign into Hulu on like a Roku unless it's your home Roku.
Yes, you can.
Can you? They didn't
It's-
allow us.
Do
I
you
tried.
guys have Hulu Live?
What's the difference? Like you watch live shows?
So Hulu Live is being able to have like a guide and watch live TV.
Yeah, that's what we use.
So that's why. So
Oh.
Hulu Live can only be on one TV at the time, and that TV has to be in your zip code. And then
I don't think it has to be on
can-
one TV. I think it has to be in the zip
in the
code.
same
'cause
zip code. If you
because
change,
we have it on ours. We have hers.
so like a household, if you leave zip codes, you can
Okay.
only change your zip code 4 times in a year.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So that's only for Hulu Live. I purposely did not get Hulu Live because it would fuck us if I did.
But yeah, you can still use that Hulu account on your phone though. You just can't use it on your Roku or like anything like that.
or like Roku,
Fire Stick or-
PlayStation, Fire Stick, like anything that's designed to be on a TV.
Yeah.
If it's designed to be mobile, then you can watch
use it. Yeah.
because it understands that you're traveling.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's on a TV or anything, you can't do that. So
Makes sense.
my Hulu is not it's not the live package because I knew we were in 3 separate zip codes.
We did a whole nostalgia episode.
Yeah,
Fucking lit.
It's short, sweet. Have a good rest of your week. You absolute beautiful sons of bitches and daughters of bastards.
And while you're having this beautiful week, make sure you listen to You Hate to See It wherever you find podcasts. Make sure you share. Please share the podcast. And if you are on Apple, please give us a review. We can get a celebrity on here if we get over 100 reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Does that work that way?
We talked about this.
We talked about this. Andy's friends with the celebrity.
Oh.
So in the description is our link tree. There's all of our links. Please share everything. Help us get bigger. We want to be bigger, so please help us out.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Yeah, that's right.
The first link on our link tree though is to our Podbean Patreon account, and on our Patreon account, it's like Patreon, but done by Podbean. You can donate at $1, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20 per month, and every amount that you donate gives you something in return. At the $1 level, you could join our Discord to talk to us and to our guests that we've had on in the past and in the future. You also get access to some special video footage and our Taskmaster live streams that we do every year. At the $3 level, you get access to our unedited video podcasts. And then, there's more content the more money you give us. And once we make a certain amount in a month, we will start releasing even more content for you guys. And all of that will be explained.
We actually
on
have
Patreon.
some episodes set up for Patreon only, so
Yep. So
we just haven't recorded them.
So thank you all so much for listening. And to Steve Burns.
We love you.
Yummy, yummy, cummy, cummies.
Ooh, that too.